The King's back. 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 The King's back.
Yeah, what's up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to my live stream. I am the actual King Smith, and it is November the 24th, 2025. We are approaching Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving week, a holiday week. Hope everybody's week is going to start out great. Mine is starting out wonderful since I had my last live stream on Friday. I took my CompTIA Security Plus exam and did not pass it. I barely failed it. And I said barely failed one time. And somebody said, what, opposed to like whirlwind failing? Well, they give you a score. And I wish I had my paper with me, but they tell you what your score is. You have to make a 750 to pass on the grade. There was 90 questions total, and where I bombed at was the performance-based questions. My first couple of questions were PBQs, performance-based questions, and I was not prepped for those at all. And I think had I passed, I don't think I got a single performance-based question right. And it is my opinion that had I gotten my PBQs correct, I would have passed the exam. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to retake that bad boy December the 12th, which is a couple of Fridays from now, with a little bit more studying going on. I'm going to make sure that I get those PBQs right this time around and then go from there. So, to those of y'all that wondered what happened and how did that go, that is what happened. That is how that went. And I do want to thank the people that check in on me from time to time to see how that went. This week is going to be interesting. I'm not doing any major Thanksgiving traveling. I'm staying local with my lady and our kid. Matter of fact, she's going to go pick up our daughter from school this upcoming week, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that she's got the ability to be able to do that. That frees a little bit of a load from me, and she's not going really that far as our daughter is in college in state, but it's not like local. It's not like it's just right down the road or whatnot. So that's how I'm spending my Thanksgiving. What are y'all doing for Thanksgiving? Does anybody have any major travel plans that they're willing to reveal? Because I know some people, like, hey, I don't want the right hand to know what the left hand doing, and they don't put their travel plans out there for safety reasons. And I get that, especially in today's world, which is crazy. It's crazy. I saw something, and this is random. I saw something that Candace Owens put out. Candace Owens on her Twitter basically said that the French government confirmed that she was on a list. And I'm going to see if I can bring this up here real quick so that y'all know that I'm not over here tripping. And if you don't know who Candace Owens is, I don't know how to classify who she is, but she definitely, to me, I think she's a smart individual. I know she's married. She's got her own website, 7.4 million followers on Twitter. And she talks right here, and I'm going to share my screen here because I thought this was wild. Shout out to Chris. What up, Chris? Good morning. Chris said, no travel plans here. Still going to be in Chicago this week for work. I appreciate you tuning in, Chris. Good morning. Good morning. Candace Owens right here on her Twitter, Real Candace Owens, talked about how I've informed the people in the federal government and the White House that the France and Israeli assassination plot, and I'm willing to provide full details as well as the name of the assassins and international accounts in France and Canada through which money was exchanged. Now, this is regarding what she has said is a plot against her life and Charlie Kirk that was like a government-sanctioned assassination. And it's wild to me. It's wild to me because Candace and both Charlie Kirk, to me, they're your everyday person with an opinion. It's not like they're anybody that is connected in. I mean, let me say, they are connected because they have influence. When they speak about things, when they go places or whatnot, they have influence with what they do. Charlie used to, but Candace does now. So this is, I'm surprised that this hasn't really been talked about as much right here, because you can see she's got millions of impressions. Every time she talks about something, it comes out there as something that is major. But not a lot of people are talking about this. Not a lot of people are talking about this. When she posted this, what was this, 2 days ago, she talked about how she was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government, blase, and after determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, I've deemed the information that they're giving me credible. And then she says to share publicly in the event that something happens, like she gets skitty popped. Wild. I think stuff like this actually happens. I don't think that there's not a lot of, happenstance on things that just occur without people pulling strings. So that's all that I'm going to talk about this, because I don't need nobody coming after me. Have me going, nope. No sirree, Bob. They not about to come and get me. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG. She was, I'm going to say, was a congresswoman that gave up her resignation and her seat in Congress and said that she's going to be resigning effective January 5th, 2026. And she wrote, "I've always represented the common American and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised." Is despise spelled properly? How do you spell despise? Despise. Oh, that is right. All right. Let me share this here. Share screen. Bring this up here. She's always been despised in Washington and never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex, and she put that in capital letters, the PIC, of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. Is that how it is? Do y'all think that that's how it is? No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that one bit. The debt goes higher. It has. Corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts. That's true. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor, by visas or just shipped overseas. I can see that. I don't necessarily know that I agree with it 100%. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Check. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interests. Check. The spending power of the dollar continues to decline. Check. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents must work in order to simply survive. This one right here, you can kind of say true, kind of not true. It depends on really what you want your lifestyle to be. I think that it can survive on a single income, but the question then becomes, what trade-off do you have? What type of lifestyle are you going to live if you're on, one single household? There's going to be sacrifices, less vacations, public school, not a lot of other opportunities, but it's possible. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream, which breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and I fought every single day believing that MAGA meant America first. I have one of the most conservative record votings in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I believe God creates life at conception, strong, safe borders, and a fought against the C virus, tyrannical insanity, and mandated mass vaccinations. And I have never voted to fund foreign wars. All right, she put up a lot of other stuff up here. Y'all can go read it on her page itself. I think that what she said for the most part is true. I'm curious though, had she not had a falling out with Big Daddy Trump, and I'm calling that Trump Big Daddy Trump because when she first came out, she was definitely somebody that was a staunch Trump supporter. And then Trump withdrew his support and came after her and attacked her relentlessly and did not back down. And then in doing that, she was just like, I don't have to take this. I'm going home. And she quit. She quit, which is interesting to me. She quit. Now, I believe that by her quitting, personally for her, she's more likely to be a brand now. And I believe that I don't think that she's going to do anything in the upcoming future around politics, but I think that she's going to have a future using her voice, because whenever she speaks, she can say some outlandish things, and she's going to have people that will support her in whatever her endeavors are. And look, you don't get to be a Georgia congresswoman, however you want to call it, without having some type of influence. So she's gonna be all right. She's gonna be all right. But what does that leave the GOP? How is her district then gonna vote? Are they still gonna vote the same with her resigning? Or will those votes look a little bit different here come the midterm and this upcoming 2028 election cycle? I think that what she did was to try to burn the house down, so to speak, on her way out, and that she's a woman scorned. A woman scorned, plus somebody that realized that it is difficult to fight against President Trump and win. That dude is Teflon Don. That's why I call him Teflon Don. Dude is Teflon Don for a reason. All right. And look, to the FBI, whoever that might be watching this, I'm just speaking regular to me. Oh, and I think something happened last week. So y'all know I use this fake background, right? Because my background in real life is pretty bland. My camera went out during a live stream last week, and it showed my background, and I got a fancy setup here. I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but it was almost like somebody got in and was like, let me see where he's at. Flip the switch to change my background off so that it could show like what it looked like. And I'm wondering if that's some type of a conspiracy to figure out like where I'm at. Because I know like you can see my IP address. But I'm curious if there was some type of conspiracy that came out to hit me. Doge has officially been shut down. So the Department of Government Efficiency, which ran under the U.S. Digital Services, is now obsolete, if you will, which I don't know how you can create a whole government department and then just erase it, not even a year later. Now, that was supposed to be how it was planned anyway. And they were a major disruptor. Doge came in, ruffled some feathers, and then dipped out of here very, very quietly. And I'm curious as to what's going to be the next disruptor that comes in. I think that the holiday time period is going to be real slow. I don't think we're going to see a lot that happens over Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then come New Year's, something's going to happen. Either some war is going to kick off somewhere, or somebody's going to say something stupid, or you're going to have stuff that what happened like in Chicago happen all over again, where people are just dumb and ignorant and are out here killing everybody. There was a shooting that happened in Chicago, and I'm trying to go find my source here real quick. Let me bring up the source here. About a week and a half ago, this story went viral in Chicago of a mom and her kid that were followed by a bunch of other kids, and these were like elementary and middle school age kids that ended up getting into a fight. Like they ended up ganging up on the mom and the kid, and they using all kinds of cuss words and B words and N words and everything. And I'm just like, this is the youth. This is the youth. This is what Chicago has to offer. I talk trash about Chicago 24/7, and I don't care who sees it. I have a homeboy that's from Chicago, and I could send him an article every day about the Chicago violence, and he looks at it different, being that that's where he's from. All right, but the latest that happened after the whole mom and kid got beat up by middle schoolers, 2 shootings in Chicago's Loop on Friday night. 1 person left dead and 1 injured, mostly teenagers. So you got teenagers with guns. Shout out to 24 said, yo, what's up? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. I got you up there on the screen. 24 over on Twitch. Thank you. Happened just an hour apart on Friday night. Officers responded to the first shooting a little before 10 p.m. on the 100 block of North State Street, where they found a large group on the sidewalk. This is why anytime I see a bunch of people congregating in a very short period, I know that nothing good is about to happen. And King Smith will about face and do this. I dip. Anytime I see a bunch of YNs, I'm just going to say it like that, congregate. I don't go over there, I wonder what's going on. No, something dumb's about to happen. They heard a gunshot and saw a large group begin to flee. Officers then found several people who had been shot. Peep this, a 14-year-old boy who had a graze wound to his stomach, a 15-year-old who had a graze wound to his thigh, 17 thigh, 14-year-old girl shot in the right hip, 16-year-old boy shot in the leg, a 14-year-old boy shot in the leg, and a 13-year-old shot in the leg. Likely by another teenager themselves, who somehow, some way found access to a weapon, carried it because they think that they got to go around carrying the jip with them everywhere that they go, and then stupid stuff like that happens. Alderman Brian Hopkins of the 2nd Ward on social media said that 300 juveniles were rioting in the Loop at the time of the shooting. He also said that Chicago Police Department officers were attacked, injured with mace and stun guns, leading to 1 officer being hospitalized, but CPD has not confirmed that information as of Saturday. Badass kids, likely single parent raised, no home training. And this type of stuff is going to keep happening in Chicago. And nobody can blame nobody else but themselves. This is not a Chicago don't care about us. This is not a president don't care about us. This is a when I say this to the people that I know that lives in Chicago, or people that have family that lives in Chicago, I'm not saying all of Chicago is trash. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that when you look around and you use your eyeballs, how would you call what you see? Something has to happen. Otherwise, this type of behavior will continue to happen. There has to be a change in the family home structure. And you can't say that you don't have the resources in Chicago. The resources are there. The resources are at these places. So it's not King, we don't have the resources. The resources are there. You just don't have enough people that care. I don't understand how people aren't sick and tired of hearing about gun shootings in their own neighborhoods or in their own city every single day. An hour later, officers responded to a different area where they found out that 2 people had been shot, and a 14-year-old person was shot and killed where that person died. And they even identified and named the person Armani Floyd, Cook County. Anytime I hear something happen out of Cook County, I'm like, it's likely something that's up to no good. And then they say a second victim, an 18-year-old man, which is funny, 17-year-old boy, but the moment they cross from 17 to 18, which they still got the teen in the name, it's a man, was shot in the, it just says in the left what, on the left side of their body, and take it to Northwestern in serious condition, and that they were unable to provide any details about the shooting to investigators for that second one. And no one was in custody for that shooting, and it is unclear if the two shootings were related. I doubt that they were. It was just people being stupid. Let's see what the mayor had to say.
Incidents like last night set us back as a city, and it evokes fear. Our young people have to understand that they should not attend these unauthorized events that have been advertised on social media. They are extremely dangerous due to the number of individuals that may be carrying weapons. And as much progress as we have made, there are still far too many guns on our streets. For these young people who have engaged in these incidents, you have put yourselves and your friends at risk. Because of the reckless behavior of a few individuals, we have families devastated, and our downtown residents are hesitant to leave their own homes. I'm the first person to recognize that we have more work to do in this city to provide safe spaces for our young people. But these type of violent gatherings can never be an alternative, nor can they be normalized.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, I hear you. I do. But actions speak louder than words, man.
We need parents, guardians, and other responsible adults to do their best to accompany young people in large, unsanctioned gatherings where weapons are likely to be present. There's always more we as adults can do to make sure that we know where our kids are and what they are doing. I recognize this feels like emotional whiplash. After this incredible celebration last night where thousands of people gathered, Chicagoans who were enjoying our tree lighting ceremony expressed their love for our city. It was peaceful. It was a joyous evening, a vision of the best of Chicago. Holiday season is a time when we come together as a city. It's when we spend time with our family and our loved ones. This is the opposite type of behavior that anybody wants to see. And when we have a setback like this, it just reminds us of the long road that we have to build the city that we all want to live in. We will continue to pray for the victims and their families. We will continue to pray for our city. This is an ongoing investigation, and we'll provide the updates as we have them.
Yep. Shout out to Brazil. Hey, do we got somebody checking in from Brazil? That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you tuning in, Tufo. So yeah, look, the Chicago mayor basically expressed that the parents and the people are devastated and that they need to do better when it comes to looking out for their kids and the children. There was a tree lighting ceremony that was earlier in the day. That I don't care. You couldn't pay me to come out to some type of event like that where it's a large gathering or a large crowd in Chicago. I've been to Chicago one time, and I forget the year, but it was around the Taste of Chicago time, which I think occurs over the summer. So it might have been June, July time frame. And when I went, nothing bad happened. I also, A, did not go out at night, and B, I didn't go any place that was really unfamiliar to me for the people who I was with. So I stayed with folks who I knew, and I did not go into areas or places that I would always see on the news as bad spots where bad things was always happening. But that's, to me, that's going to continue to be Chicago's problem, especially when you have parents, right, that are either parents that are out here having 4, 5, 6 kids by 5 different men. Real father figure in the home. The single parent that the kids that are with the parent are with the parent that's probably working 2 jobs to try to make ends meet. So they're not going to be around their kid like that. My daughter, who is a freshman in college right now, I believe makes good decisions about who she's around and what she chooses to do. And that I feel confident that I likely will not hear that she is involved in a situation where she was with a crowd and that crowd was the rowdy crowd. She's not that type of person. She's not the type of person that believes in senseless, dumbass violence for no reason other than, you know, people want to try to protect their block or their ego. It's senseless to me. It's senseless to me. People want to talk about people's lives matter and, you know, all this and that. But I'm like, you're just saying that shit. People don't really know what that means to me, in my opinion. I don't think people really truly get what that means. All lives matter. You don't know what that means. That's my 2 cents anyway. Look, I've got to get ready for work. Let me see who we got in the building. We got Lee Wingfield 720. I messed that all up. I appreciate you tuning in. Lee Wingfield 7220 over on YouTube. Hey, I appreciate you popping in. Thank you. I'm going to be live again tomorrow. Today is my first day back working after having all week off last week, coming off of the furlough. So I've got to get back used to what's going to be normal for me. We're working these next couple of days until we're off for Thanksgiving, and then I'm off for Friday as well. I'm going to look forward to this upcoming Thanksgiving. It's going to be a little bit different for me. For those of y'all that don't know, I'm taking Zepbound. It really changes my appetite a bit. So I'm not going to have a gluttonous Thanksgiving holiday like I used to. I'm just still going to be happy to be with the people that I'm with and enjoy it that way. Hope y'all have a fantastic day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Trumpets blare the golden call. A throne of weights I rise so tall. Drums like thunder shake the hall. Royal robe, I wear the weight. Diamonds cut the night, no debate. Heavy is the head, but I'm feeling great. Crown me king, crown me king. Horns will shout, let the kingdom sing. Crown me king, crown me king. Bow to the sound, feel the power I bring.